Welcome you again. Today we are going to discuss therapeutics of epilepsy or convulsions, in which we are going to discuss two major remedies about epilepsy, which is Bufo Rana and Cupram metallicum. So first we will discuss about Bufo Rana. Bufo Rana is nothing but a one of the variety of frog, and this medicine is made up from the poison which is present on the back of a toad, which is actually a gland, and from which the poison is extracted, and from that poison the buforana is made up of. So first we will discuss the appearance of the epileptic patient in an attack. So when it comes to the buforana patient, the epileptic attacks looks like a frog itself. Okay, so generally his hands are bended in a elbow, his palms are turns outwardly. Same is related with the legs also. His legs are bended in a knees and his ankles are extended outwardly. So these are the classical appearance of a Bufo patient in a epileptic attack. So what we can say that the epileptic attack of a Bufo patient, it's look like a toad itself. Hmm? So next important point is its aura. When it comes to the Bufo patient, the aura of this medicine is so peculiar and characteristic. Generally, the aura of the Bufo patient starts from his abdomen. So what is meant by aura, or what we can say if the patient don't tell us ki uh, my aura of the epilepsy starts from the abdomen, but we have to ask him, or we have to get this symptom when the patient telling his symptom. Okay, so generally patient feels there is something happening in his abdomen, and after that he get to know that he is having the epileptic attack. Okay, so when we are taking the case, the patient is telling his symptom, and from which we will get that before every epileptic attack patient feels something in his stomach, and after that he is get a epileptic attack. So this is the classical sign, this is the classical symptom. So there is one rubric which is having a single remedy, and which rubric is it? The abdomen epilepsy begins in. So abdomen epilepsy begins in, the single remedy is Bufo in a synthetic repertoire. So this is the important symptom. Now we will discuss about the Bufo patient, how this patient looks like, or how this patient's mental symptom looks like. So if we have to study Bufo in very good manner, must read the Soul of the Remedies. So in Soul of the Remedies, Dr. Shankaran sir given that the Bufo is nothing but a combination of Baraita and hyoscyamus. So why the combination of Baraita and hyoscyamus? So in Baraita we found that the patient is underdeveloped, the patient mental symptom is underdeveloped, he is having no sense, he is having no uh, proper knowledge of the things. Okay, the behavior is so childish and underdeveloped mentality. So these are the symptoms we found in a Baraita patient. So generally in Baraita we found that the physical symptoms are fully developed, but the mental symptoms are underdeveloped. And in hyoscyamus, we found that the patient is highly sexual, the patient is highly into a sexuality and loquacity or shamelessness. So this is related with hyoscyamus. And in related with the Barataka, if we found these both the mentality in a one patient, the patient is a Bufo patient. Okay, so the characteristic symptom of both the remedies are present in a Bufo Rana. Now in Boric, it has given that it has a epilepsy that aggravate during full moon. So generally, the Bufo patient's epileptic attack comes on a full moon. Generally, these patients gets attack in a night. Generally this patient gets epileptic attack when he is in a sleep. Okay, so these are the some of the characteristic symptom of the buforana in epilepsy, that he get attacks in a sleep, he get attack at a night, generally or only at a night, and the second thing, generally at a full moon. Okay, now the epilepsy in a children is another keynote of this remedy. And if these epilepsy in a children are present with the masturbation in a children, we can think about the Bufo patient. Okay, so in a mind there is one symptom, that desire for solitude. Means what? In a Boric it has given that in a mental section, that desire for solitude, but this desire for solitude is nothing but a, he wants this solitude, he wants the solitudeness just to practice a masturbation. Means this actual meaning of this symptom is given in a Rajan Shankaran sir's book, that the company aversion to desire for solitude to practice a masturbation. Here the masturbation is nothing but nothing only related with the actual masturbation, but related with the sexuality, any kind of sexuality. The person wants the solitudeness. So what does it means? It means that if a person has a sexual impulse, he cannot postpone it. Means he having a no control over his impulses. He is totally absorbed in it, and he goes to the masturbate when he get a impulse. But he goes off alone and masturbate. Okay, so Dr. Shankaran sir give idea about Bufo is that the person with the combination of good physical development and a childish mind, and here if we add the shamelessness of a hyoscyamus, we get the whole picture of a Bufo. Now there is one another point we will get, that the dwarfishness plus epilepsy is a Bufo. Dwarfishness is about the Barataka, epilepsy is of a Bufo patient, and the dwarfishness plus epilepsy is a Bufo. The epileptic attack generally occur during a night and during a sleep. Epilepsy during menses is also another symptom. Means what? The epileptic attack generally comes during the menstrual period. Means from in the mm, during the menses or the at a mm, adult age. Epilepsy during menses is also another symptom. In Bufo, we find the some important physical symptom also. And what are they? The central fissure tongue, desire for sweet. The patient is having a tendency towards obesity, and the another symptom is that an important symptom is here the Bufo convulsions are more related with the sexual sphere. There is one symptom which is given in a synthetic repertory, that the general convulsion quiescent during. So this symptom having only two remedies, which is agaricus and buforana. So this is the important symptom, and in which the buforana is for 2 marks. And here there is a two remedies, which is agaricus and bufo. But in agaricus and bufo there is one difference, that when this convulsions appear during a coition, when if the convulsion appears during a coition, this is a Bufo, and if this convulsion appear after the coition, this is agaricus. So these are the major difference between both of the remedies. In Bufo patient on a mental spare, the music is unbearable. Okay, so patient get aggravated from the music. So this is one of the important symptom. And during in a epileptic attack, patient get insensible to light. Means patient cannot tolerate the natural light or even a artificial light. So this is also one of the important symptom. There are some important symptom rubrics that can guide us to the Bufo is that if the patient have an history of pulmonary thesis and that got suppressed, and patient get a convulsion, after that Bufo is a single remedy. We found that in a chest thesis pulmonalis, epilepsy suppressed after the Bufo is a single remedy. Means if the patient is having a thesis means nothing but a tuberculosis, and if this tuberculosis having, if this tuberculosis is partially cured or get suppressed in his history, and in present if the person is having a epileptic attack, we can think about a Bufo. There is one another observable symptom. We found that we get a generally we get this symptom from the attendant, that in every case of epilepsy we must ask for the video, or we must ask the attendant for his actual uh, body posture during a epilepsy. So in such cases we will found that in a Bufo patient that convulsion epileptic aura eyes turn upward and left. If the eyes are turned upward and left, the Bufo is a single remedy. Okay, so this is also an important observable symptom which we may get from the attendant, or if we ask for the video of the patient, we will get that. And in Clark's Materia Medica, or the Clark's dictionary, we get one rubric that to remove the fetor in a cancer cases. Fetor means nothing but when the patient is having cancer, and on that local area there is a severe offensive smell, and of to remove that we can use this Bufo. Now we will discuss about the second remedy is a Cupram metallicum. So Cupram metallicum is nothing but a metal, and we all know that the characteristic of metal is nothing but to attack, to defense, and to performance. The patient is generally good at all three levels, means if in the attack level, in the defense level, and the performance level. So if we want to characterize this remedy in one word, is a spasm. What it's meant by spasm is generally nothing but the his whole body get into the severe spasm during the epileptic attack. So spasm is the characteristic of the metal in a epilepsy. So Cupram met, zincum metallicum, so these are the characteristic of metal. So generally the aura of this remedy starts from lower extremities, and generally from the periphery, and the major site of the aura begins from the knees. So these three locations are important in a Cuprum metallicum, generally from the fingers, generally from the toes, or generally from the knees. So these are the important symptoms in a Cuprum metallicum, and the rubric for that is a general convulsion epileptic aura needs from. Okay, means ascending means what, the aura generally start from the lower limb and which comes above up to the face, brain, hands, or whatever the last location it has. And in such cases we can think about a Cuprum metallicum. Now the second important thing is about Cuprum met is a, he get a epileptic attack on a new moon. So when it's full moon, it has a Bufo Rana, and in a Cupramet, we got this attack on a new moon. And in a new moon, there are one another remedies also: causticum, Cupramet, calibrom, and silicia. Okay, so these are the remedies which is having the convulsions during a full moon. Sorry, new moon. Okay, so these are the major difference between Bufo and Cuprum metallicum. Now there is one another symptom, that the convulsive attacks are spasmodic and with a clenched thumb. Clenched thumb is means nothing but we all have seen the babies which is having a thumb, and there is fingers on it. Means the classical picture in this, like a baby with a clenched thumb, and the spasm of this remedy is so severe that the every we can compare this with a cicuta also, in which there is a severe spasm in the whole body, generally in the spinal cord, and the opisthotonus position is the characteristic of the cicuta. Okay, so when we have a severe spasm, there is the group of remedy which come in our mind is a Cupram metallicum, zincum metallicum, and causticum, and a cicuta. Okay, so these are the remedy which is important. Now the causation, if we look into the uh, zincum metallicum, we found that the when we suppress the skin eruption, which leads to the brain pathology, in such cases we get the this remedy. Means if the person is having a certain skin eruption, and in a history, if that person is suppressed that, and after some time, if the epilepsy get developed, we can think about this group of the remedies, means Zincum metallicum and Cuprum met, and even Apis mellifica. But in Apis mellifica, generally the meningitis develop after a skin suppressed skin eruption. So these are nothing but the metastasis of the skin symptom towards the brain. Now there is one another symptom which is important, is convulsion during a pregnancy and even after a pregnancy. There is a puerperal convulsion after pregnancy up to the 6th week. Means if the person is in a puerperal phase up to the 6th week, and he gets he gets the convulsion only after the pregnancy, we can think about this remedy. Cuprum have nausea greater than any other remedy. This is also an important remedy, also the important symptom. Okay, so these are the important thing in epilepsy about Bufo, Rana, and Cuprum metallicum. So we will discuss one another remedy in the next section. So till then, have a good day. Bye bye.